I feel like at the moment we're in rock band mode, and it's just we're just enjoying. I think for a few years we really tried to avoid to do anything we could to get ourselves away from that world.
Yeah.
And so musically, especially on Ammo, was really the era where we were most trying to not, like the photos looked different and
Very pop and
well, just like weird, and we all looked different, and the the videos were different. They weren't very like rock videos, and even the tour artwork and the posters and everything. We were just really and kind of the way the live production was. We were just trying to do it. We had dancers, and it was
mhm.
like we had these. Everything was trying to push us away from what we'd done before.
Well, you kind of have to plant a flag and let everyone know, like, that you've made this conscious like break from the past.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't even really. I don't even know why it happened. Really, I guess we just. I think we were just when we were writing the album, we just felt like we had because That's the Spirit was quite arena rock
Yeah.
compared to Sempiternal, so it kind of felt like we've reached a bit of a barrier there in terms of like if you go further into that territory, then you're going to be there forever, and it's not a creative. It's not a particularly creative. I like That's the Spirit, but it definitely was probably about as arena rock as I would want to go as a band.
You don't need to do another one.
No, not particularly. No. So it was like, okay, well, we can either double down on that and just release another album that's even more anthemic. But it just didn't feel like we could do it as we were writing it. It just none of them
Hmm.
were getting us. So then it was like I think Ammo ended up being a much weirder album because because of that because we kind of felt like we'd that because there's a progression there from metal band kind of metalcore, anthemic
Yeah.
metalcore, arena radio rock, and then you stay radio rock and just keep radio rock, radio rock, radio rock.
Right. That's the standard playbook.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess we kind of felt like, okay, if we take a bit of a left turn, it wasn't even conscious decision. It was just like we weren't liking the music we were making when it sounded like that. So anything that sounded like uh, Linkin Park on Ammo was kind of a no for us.
Hmm.
Um, so that album in turn ended up being a bit different. You know what I mean? And then it opened some doors for us to be like, you know, I guess then it felt like then we dropped of the weird remix EP, which is just like
Yeah.
complete madness. Um,
Yeah, which I like. I love that you guys did that. Both of those together, to me, that was like such a like planting that flag. It's like we're not a fucking metalcore band. Deal with it.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I still listen to that sometimes as well, and I like it. It was kind of
Almo
just
is my favorite album that you guys have ever done. I think it's awesome.
oh, thanks, man. It was a different time for us. That yeah, some good
How
some.
do you feel about it looking back on it now?
I still like it. I think I know where we went wrong on it. If there was places we went wrong, and I guess maybe I feel like we just it's a bit too restrained in places.
Hmm.
I feel like there's a couple of songs that could have not been on there. I think we should. Here's what it is actually. Where we were songs like Nihilist Blues and Wonderful Life and even like heavy metal, um, Mantra to some extent. I feel like when we went all in on that vibe, I feel like it was stronger. And then
Yeah.
I think we kind of wimped out a little bit and thought, there was still like we still need some songs that are catchy kind of poppy rock songs. And I feel like the project would have been much cooler if we'd just gone all in on a bonkers album. That's the only thing I would criticize it for. Because I did the concept of it and doing something that's got these weird kind of garage interludes and just it's all over the
Hmm.
place, really collagey, I think is cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I really like that a lot. And, I'm a big pop guy, so it's probably the most pop influenced thing to me. So I really liked it.
Yeah,
Um, Sugar Honey Iced Tea is my favorite Bring Me the Horizon song.
really. That's
Yeah.
an unusual choice.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like a really good. It sounds like a poppy rock song that wouldn't be out of place, in on a, I don't know, I think of like a PlayStation sampler from 1999 or something like that.
Yeah,
It wouldn't be out of place, and neither would the artwork either. And that's kind of what I really like about the vibe on that album.
yeah, the artwork for the album.
Yeah,
Yeah, the baggy
yeah,
thing.
just all the aesthetic around that album and the band at that time, just kind
Yeah,
of to me has that kind of vibe.
yeah, definitely see that. But then, I think now we're kind of at a point where we're a little more happy with what we are. You know what I mean? It's not necessarily we're not afraid to just be a rock band at times, which I
Hmm.
think is a much healthier place to be because it kind of feels like we can really do anything. Whereas I think in that time it was like the one thing we couldn't be was
Yeah,
what you'd expect from us. Whereas now it's like
right,
we can still do
right.
that as long as it's not just going through the motions and just a generic song. We can still sound like us on a song, and that's